live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, what a good old-fashioned behind the barn whooping. That's what that was. I mean, it's literally what it was. Lakers just, they got dominated, blitz, ran out the gym, pretty much start to finish. This in many ways felt like a trap game going into the game. In many ways, this kind of felt like, this could potentially happen. I was hopeful that it wouldn't. I was hopeful that the Lakers would kind of, hang on and maybe kind of, they kept on several occasions, they'd get it to like 9. And I was like, okay, well, maybe the Lakers will kind of right the ship here a little bit. And it just never happened. And, credit Atlanta, right? Atlanta came in. They did their job. They played defense. They swarmed. They did their best to contain. They created turnovers, everything that you could ask for. If you're Atlanta, they delivered. And something I talked about in my breakdown video, because I did the breakdown video going into this game, and I know that they were missing a bunch of players and all that stuff, but this is a young, athletic, versatile team. Lakers have had trouble with young, athletic teams, right? And this team just picked the Lakers apart because they lack athleticism. It's why I've said, even with the success the Lakers have had, that they still need things. They still need athleticism in two-way play out on the perimeter. Atlanta shot the ball incredibly well. They shot the lights out in this game, but there wasn't much resistance either. There wasn't like the Lakers were, doing, playing lockdown defense and they just were hitting shots and it's just like, there's nothing you could do about it. Right. This is a team that, was picking the Lakers apart, picking the Lakers defense apart. This was a terrible game from the Lakers side. This was the worst game by far this season, by far, right? For a team that's really good. I don't necessarily look at this as like, oh, Lakers are trash again or anything. Look, bad games happen, bad moments happen. You went into this game, you underestimated Atlanta, but they still have a lot of young, athletic, versatile wings and guards and stuff. That's all they are. Literally, that's all they are, is just a young, athletic team. And all they did was just blitz the Lakers. I broke it down exactly how Atlanta could win this game. And Atlanta won exactly how I broke down for them to win this game. Push the pace, get out in transition, create turnovers, and, be young, athletic, and defensive versatile, right? That's what they were. That's what they did. And the Lakers got blitzed out the gym, right? It's struggles that they have. But again, like I said, I don't, this isn't Chicken Little, sky is falling. Games like this happen. Obviously, you don't want them to happen, and you definitely don't want them to happen regularly. But over the course of an 82-game season, bad beats happen. This is a game where Lakers, like I said, walked in probably expecting like, hey, no one's playing. We don't have to really show up, and they didn't bring the intensity. And Atlanta punched them in the mouth. It was that simple. Atlanta basically got off to that start and never looked back. Good old-fashioned behind the barn whooping. And the Lakers, by the time they realized like, oh, hey, wait a minute, we should probably like actually play, it's already too late. And Lakers guys didn't really step up, didn't play extremely well. Jake LaRavia had a nice game. I thought he was really solid and was trying everything he could to keep us in it. Luka was doing Luka things, obviously. DeAndre Ayton, I thought, had a really solid game. He was 5 of 5 from the floor. In less than 20 minutes, he was 11 and 5 with 2 offensive rebounds. Marcus Smart, I thought, did some stuff. Dalton Connect kind of came alive a little bit there at the end, which unfortunately we've seen him do a couple times, and it doesn't translate to anything. So, I'm hoping that maybe figure that out. But maybe he can find some strides. Next game is against his team, which for whatever reason, the Lakers also love to lose to Charlotte. So I'm hoping we're not taking back-to-back losses. Again, talked about it going into this game. This game was very crucial, very vital, very important for this Lakers team, right? This is a game in which you're on a 5-game road trip. You got 6 road games in your out of your next 7, right? And then all of a sudden, you get off to a bad start. That can really kind of set you back. And I wanted to get and establish the I just wanted to get and establish the Lakers early and get this win, beat Charlotte. Lakers were also the only team in the league going into this game undefeated on the road, which was good. So you knew the Lakers were going to lose a road game eventually. I just was hoping it wasn't the first road game on this trip against the Atlanta Hawks, especially without them playing everybody. If everybody played and it was a good old-fashioned whooping, sure, you kind of take your losses. You could justify, hey, no Reeves, no Luke, or no LeBron, no Reeves, right? It happens, sucks. It is what it is. But that's just not what happened here, right? This was, again, it's why I've talked about, right? Like, even when the Lakers didn't have any of their guys, went into Portland and got that one. And I talked about how I thought the Lakers do it. Like, these are still NBA players, right? And especially Atlanta, they're still young, athletic NBA players that want to prove themselves and want to show what they can do and want to put together the things that, that to show that, hey, they belong in this league and they can win games and all that stuff. Like, just because you're playing the 7th through 15th guy doesn't mean that they're not NBA players and they're not going to show up and they can't play well if given the opportunity. Guys need to step up. They're playing with house money. They're looking at it as like, what do we have to lose, right? We're not supposed to win this game. Let's go out there. Snyder had that team just prepared and knew exactly how they wanted to play, what they wanted to do, all of it. And they executed it brilliantly. You know what I mean? Like, you give them credit, right? Like, high fives all around to them. You take the whooping and you move on, right? You don't dwell on this. It sucks. It's frustrating from a fan perspective. It's like, come on, man. Like, you got to be kidding me here, right? Like, we've been playing so well. We're 7-2, a chance to go 8-2 on the road, right? Like, or 8-2 total. First 10 games starting off great, right? But again, Lakers, through all the injuries, through everything that's happened, they've played very well. I'm not going to hold one bad game against them. Right now, again, if they show up against Charlotte and follow suit, and this is just kind of like a rewind, or a reiteration. There we go, of what this game we just saw was. Then yeah, sure, absolutely. Then we need to start talking about, like, hey, something's got to get changed. Something's got to fix. We'll see if Reeves comes back, because Reeves is hurt and stuff. But look, I look at this as like, hey, this was a bad game. They happen over 82 games. You had an Atlanta Hawks team that was very hot. Again, Lakers didn't do their part either, but you had an Atlanta Hawks team that was very hot, that, was playing with house money, that we're looking at as like, hey, we have nothing to lose here, right? Worst case scenario, they blow us out. Best case scenario, we just outwork them and out hustle them because they're not prepared, and we smacked them. And that's what happened, right? Like, they showed up, they were prepared, they did what they were supposed to do. But again, at the end of the day, talk about all the time, the pendulum swing, right? Can't get too high, can't get too low. We got to stay even keel. It sucks. It's frustrating. I'm furious. I'm not happy about it. But at the end of the day, we gotta take it for what it is. This was one game out of 82. Lakers have looked great the previous 9 games. You take the belt to the behind. You just chalk it up, you move on, and you progress to the next game. It's frustrating again, but it is what it is, right? You can't dwell on it. Guys need to play better. Guys need to be better. All around. Rui struggled this game. He didn't have a great game. Lakers kind of packed it in the third quarter, which I didn't really mind. You just saw how the game was progressing. If you're JJ, you're just kind of like, hey, you know what? Like, we just don't have it tonight. Right? This was one of those nights. We just didn't have it tonight. Guys have played a lot of minutes and a lot of, like, again, I don't want to make excuses for this, because this is inexcusable. You can't have this, but it happens, right? Again, it's one game. We'll see how they respond to Charlotte. How do they bounce back? I talked about it after the Warriors loss. Talked about it after the Blazers loss, right? Again, how do they bounce back? How do you respond off of a loss? It's what I care about. But anyway, Let's get into all these super chat questions, all the regular chat questions, all of that stuff. Again, unfortunate game, but it is what it is. Real quick, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button for me if you haven't done either. And let's get into it. Lakers got whipped, shaking my head. Yeah, I mean, look, again, it's you take the L. Take the L and you move on. It's that simple, right? This was a terrible loss. Lakers just didn't have it tonight. They didn't show up. They stayed in LA. They forgot they had a road trip. Take the L and you move on. I hope this will be the only no energy game this season. Yeah, again, it hasn't been a trend, right? And even dating back to last year, it wasn't really a trend. Lakers, you don't win 50 games by having this type of performance be a trend. So I don't want to overreact to it. Right? I don't want to, I want to take it for what it is. It is what it is. It sucks. It's frustrating. You don't want to see that happen, but you take the L and you move on. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, this is, again, tough loss. Let's just forget this and move on to Charlotte. Exactly, 100%. Exactly. Spot on, Kevin. Right? You take the L, you short memory, move on to Charlotte. I feel it. Believe me, they all deserve to be arrested. That performance, yeah. But this team doesn't need LeBron. We needed a second and third ball handler badly in this game. Yeah, I mean, again, like, you didn't have Austin Reeves, you didn't have LeBron. And look, I've talked about it, and I've gotten comments from people that were like, "We had Marcus Smart. We have like, again." Anybody that can bring the ball up could be your ball handler, right? But there's a difference between a guy talked about it even with Reeves in his early years, right? Reeves has evolved into a playmaker, but before he was a guy that can make plays. There's a difference between, there's a lot of guys in the league that can make plays, that can initiate an offense, that can run your basics, that can get you in your actions. It's another thing when you have guys that can take care of the basketball and create, have things develop, create things out of nothing. Right? Like there's difference. There's levels to the ball handling capability, right? Jared Vanderbilt bringing the ball up. He's a ball handler. He's handling the basketball, right? Like, but again, that doesn't mean that he's a playmaker and a guy that you want to trust out there. I swear when water is wet shows up. Well, yeah, I mean, he's been real silent the last few games, but I'm sure he'll be in this chat. No offense, no defense. Again, this is just a bad game. You chalk it up. Folks was blaming Luke on Reddit. What exactly did he do that was so wrong? Nothing. Yeah, again, people always want to blame stuff. All right. Can't wait to see everyone overreact. We'll be fine, man. Bad games happen. Exactly. You're preaching to the choir here, at least on my end. Again, it happens. If this becomes a trend, like if they, Charlotte game, it's the same type of thing, then we'll talk, right? Then we'll really start to break this down more. But again, chalk it up, bad game. It's frustrating. I get it from the fans' perspective. It's miserable watching that type of game, watching that type of performance, but they happen. Lakers have been really good. Anyway, 7-3 to start with our stars in and out of the lineup is still good. It's fantastic. I mean, if I told you going into this season that we were going to have no LeBron for the first 10 games, Luka and Austin Reeves were going to miss like half of those games, right? Like together, right? Would you believe me if I said I thought the Lakers are going to be 7-3? No, everyone would have told me, Tyler, you're an idiot. Oh, you're Laker bias, blah, 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 blah. Lakers are getting ran through. They'll be lucky to be 3-7. Here we are, so got beat by a guy who started playing basketball 6 years ago. There's a lot of guys. Joel Embiid was a guy that like picked up a basketball and then like 4 years later was MVP. Happens a lot in these recent years. 7-3 is good, but we somehow lost because of no defense. Yeah, just didn't play well. Yeah. Can't win without defense. Belt to the behind. Yes. Hand it up, bro. No GOAT to blame tonight. Again, this was just a bad game. They just didn't show up today. Not a good start to the road trip, but hopefully they can get it back. Yeah. Again, I really wanted the Lakers to establish this, get the first win on the road trip. It's always nice to get that first win, get out the way, build some confidence along the way, and kind of ramp up. But they did it. So you bounce back, you beat Charlotte, right? And then you go in OKC. Lakers have had OKC. If Lakers beat Charlotte and OKC, we're back on track, right? Get back to business. So that's what I'm hoping. Dudes just be watching, chatting, and not liking the video. Well, thank you, Raymond. Yes, please. Like Raymond said, you gotta like the video. And subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Is Luka putting that weight back on? I don't think so at all. Trade Luka. What the heck? Go A coming back. We out. LeBron will be back. Don't worry. When is Austin Lynn coming back? No specific date, but it seems like he might be back sooner rather than later. Bronny is solid. Bronny's been really good in the limited minutes he's gotten. Right on it. Like honestly, he's shown the ability to get to his spots. Look, I talked about this in preseason, and people were like, "Oh, he sucks. He can't hit a shot." Yes, his shot isn't crisp yet, right? He doesn't have that shooting touchdown yet. However, Bronny is getting to his spot every time. He was doing it in preseason, and he's been doing it all season. This game, he actually was hitting shots, and what was he, 4 of 6? I think. What was he? He was 4 of 6, 4 of 6, and 1 of 2 from 3. Right, 9 points. But my point is that like Bronny James is a guy that again is showing the ability to get to his spots, to shoot over the top, to create dribble create dribble penetration, make plays for others. I mean, he had that game the other day where he had like 5 points and 6 assists with a couple rebounds, and I think he had like 3 steals or something like that. Like again, he doesn't have to necessarily be a superstar. Just a guy that can get in there. He's shown the ability to be excellent as an on-ball pressure guard, be that point of attack guard. That's exactly all. That's all you need. This was just a terrible game, terrible game. But like I said, take the L, move on. Not just playing. That's what everyone says when they panic. Yeah, 100%. More like extend Luka. Yeah, people like to overreact. That's how it goes. Lakers have been playing without pressure all year. Yeah, I mean, it shows what, again, you just saw with Atlanta. Let's see. Worst game of the season, dude, 1,000%. This was terrible. All those Grandpa Braun jokes ain't hitting now, huh, Lakers Nation? Look, I've repeatedly said we're not a better team without LeBron. I got the same vision, Tyler, as you. Well, beautiful. I love it. Yeah, see, like I said, it happens. Losses happen. It sucks. It's frustrating. You take the L, you move on. Still early. Yeah, exactly. We just got through our 10th game. A lot of basketball left to be played. Such a frustrating game. Agreed, 1,000%. To lose to the Hawks with a bunch of scrubs, who, no offense, probably won't play at all after the game is so unbelievably frustrating. Just got to move on to the next one. Yeah, you got to take that L. We could have used Braun and Reeves tonight. To all the haters saying we don't need Braun. No, where are you tonight? Hurry back, Braun. We need you and Reeves. Yeah, again, we're not better without those guys. We're a playoff team with Luka and Reeves and this squad. LeBron's the difference in putting us over the top. Not just that, but like games like this, right? Like Luka is generating, guys aren't really showing up. Like this is a great example of a game that I talked about where there's going to be moments, it's going to be nights, it's going to be stretches where you're going to need LeBron to put the cape on, right? But again, it's few and far between. So like a game like this, having LeBron and Reeves would have completely changed the dynamic, would have completely changed things. Because even if you just had, say, LeBron or you just had Austin Reeves, at least you have another guy that can get to the foul line, generate offense, at least keep you within range to where you kind of build some confidence. Now some guys start hitting shots because they see the ball go through. It changes things. So hopefully Austin Lynn must come back again, Charlotte. Yeah. Hopefully, have you punched any holes in the wall yet? Not yet. Too early. I know you're kidding. No worries. See, Lakers think, of course, after one game, the Lakers have one bad loss, and now they're the worst team in basketball. Let's see. I hope I'm wrong. But I have a feeling this is a game we'll look back on when it's a tight race before the playoffs and be looking back at this one as one we needed to win. I mean, the thing is about that though, right? Like you can make that argument for anything. Lakers could be the 2 seed and you could be like, oh man, like unless the Lakers end up finishing the 1 seed, right? Like if the Lakers are 2 games back, there's going to be 2 games that you can look at and point to and go like, man, these 2 games would have been the difference and we would have been the 1 seed, right? Like last year, right? Lakers finished 3 seed, right? You had like Chicago and that Utah game. And it's like, if you win those games, you're now the 2 seed instead of 3 seed. And then instead of, now you're playing Golden State instead of like, you can always do that. If the Lakers finish the 4th seed, right? There's going to be like, oh man, remember the Atlanta game, or remember whatever, Charlotte, right? Like remember those games, remember that stretch where like it's just, you can always find that, but like I said, we'll see how they bounce back. Right? I just want health. I just want to get back. We finished top 3, 4 seed. I'm good. Like healthy, we're set. It's all the injuries, man. No way, Oregon. Yeah, I mean, look, you got to keep in mind, guys have played a lot of minutes, right? Have played big roles. It's exhausted. It's tiring. Like now you're on the road. Like again, I don't want to make too many excuses for this bad game. It was a bad game, right? You got to at least, take the whooping, but not like that. Like that was just like, dude, just stop, man. Come on, you're hurting them, right? Like let them get up. Like that was like, all right, come on, dude. Come on, enough, please. Come on. You're going to kill him. Like that's what that was, right? Like, but all I can do is laugh, bro. What did I just watch? I feel it. Don't worry. Turn off the game in the 4th quarter. I want to have a good weekend. Watch that. I don't blame you at all for that. We need Austin Lynn. You're not around. The Lakers weren't expected to win and have been playing free. I want to see them play with expectations for a change. I mean, yeah, once everybody gets back, you start getting a rhythm, start getting to the flow. We'll be fine. Let's see. Keep smart, Nathan. If we lose the Hornets next game, I sure hope not. Lakers need LeBron big time. This game is a shame. Hawks don't have their star players. Yeah, I mean, this was a bad loss. There's no ands, ifs, buts about it. It's a bad loss. But it's one. Again, we'll see how they bounce back. How do you bounce back? How do you respond against Charlotte? I don't know what I just witnessed with this game. You witnessed the Lakers just stay in LA. Rui and Vando got to go. Rui can't score by himself, and Vando can't shoot. Yeah, it's just got to try it. Lakers need 2-way. They need 2-way players, and they need athleticism badly. Looks like we need LeBron after all. Would have thought. Yeah, true. Got the serial killer on who we kill it with the pitchforks tonight. The Lakers as a whole, man, they were just rough. Let's see. Oh, got a super chat. Cypher coming out the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. All good teams have bad games and lose to bad teams. Bad teams have some good games. These are the NBA players after all. People are worried for no reason. Exactly. 100%. I don't know if you were here earlier when I did my little rant to start the stream, but like I said, it happens. You're going to have losses. You're going to have bad losses. You're going to have games like this, right? Like, again, Atlanta's playing free. They're playing with house money. They don't have any guys. And Lakers, look, I did an entire breakdown video, and I said exactly how Atlanta could win this game. I said, if Atlanta does X, Y, and Z, they're going to win this game. Guess what Atlanta did? All of those things. Push the pace, get out in transition, play defense. Right? Lakers have struggled to get back in transition, which Atlanta loves to push the pace. And they struggle against youth and athleticism. They have for years, right? Because they lack youth and athleticism. So now you add that to a team that is shooting the lights out on top of, Lakers probably looked a little lax. On top of Lakers have played a bunch of minutes these last week. It's just, again, I don't want to make too many excuses for this Lakers team. This was a bad game. It was a bad loss. They happen. Again, you're going to have bad losses. You're going to have bad moments. I talk about the pendulum swing all the time, right? Like this one loss doesn't sway this team. Again, what the Lakers have done through these first 10 games, right? Like they kind of earned this one, right? Again, I don't want to see this happen again. bounce back, get into Charlotte, handle business. Sucks because it's the first road game. You always want to get that first one and kind of build momentum, but it's not the end of the world. It's not Chicken Little, the sky is falling. It's nothing like that. It was a bad loss. It happens. Lakers are still 7-3. If I told you going into the season, hey, first 10 games, Lakers were not going to have LeBron. Oh, and yeah, by the way, Luka and Austin Reeves are going to miss half those games, right? But don't worry, they're going to be 7-3. You'd be like, Tyler, you're crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, come on, man. Like, I'm a Laker fan too, but let's not be delusional here. Guess what? Lakers are 7-3. All right, like through the first 10 games, and all those things I mentioned happen, right? So again, it sucks. It's unfortunate. It happens, right? It's how it goes. But appreciate you, Cypher. Obviously I'd like to have this one back. Obviously I'd like to kind of get back into the swing of things, but look, how do you respond after the loss? Took a tough loss. How do you respond? Said it after the Warriors game. I said it after the Portland game that we lost. Lakers won 2 straight and they won 5 straight. So how do you respond after this game? 7-3 is not bad. Not bad at all. Again, first 10 games, like I just mentioned, if I told you going into the season, no LeBron for 10 games, first 10 games, and Luka and Austin Reeves are going to miss half of those games, you would think if we're lucky, we're 3-7. Rui's inconsistent. He's a great 6 man, but can't count on him every night. Look, I love Rui Hachimura. I have said this time and time again. I love Rui. You have to trade him. Like I've said it for years now. I got my nickname Laker Damas, like the running joke that you'll see people randomly, throw out there. Like that's been a thing because of Rui Hachimura, right? Like I like Rui a lot. We Lakers just have very specific needs, and it's tough because he is such a good shooter. He has, to his credit, really adapted and evolved his game ideally to play the type of role alongside Luka and LeBron. The problem is he's a liability. Doesn't have the athleticism. He struggles to create, which is crazy because that was one of his, he's changed so much. He's lost that ability, but also it's the perimeter defense. You can't count on him to when the shot's not falling. What else can you do? Doesn't rebound exceptionally well. He does Lakers have too many needs to just go, hey, you know what? Like we can keep Rui. I love Rui. He's got to go. He's your best trade asset. There are probably several teams that would be very interested in having him. And at worst, he's your biggest expiring contract. 7-3 is okay. Not good though. Like MOC, like mock. Or I'm assuming you mean OKC. OKC, look, they're young, athletic, and healthy, right? Like they're gonna win a bunch of games. 7-3, given the context, is ridiculous. Take SGA and J-Dub and Chet Holmgren. Take those 3 guys. Have, SGA miss half the games. Chet Holmgren miss half the games, including games where both of them miss. And then have J-Dub miss the entire time. And, they're probably at best 7-3 as well. And that's just because they're youthful, athletic, and the defending champions. Let's see. Who is Austin Lynn? It's from Kenny. I think it was Kenny the Jet. Compared him to Austin Lynn. Compared him to Jeremy Lin and said he was having a Jeremy Lin moment. So it's kind of like a thing that has been going around. Lakers can win it all with a good coach. You got to be defensive minded. Reeves and Rui got to come off the bench. Start Luka, Braun, Smart, Vando, and Ayton. Well, JJ Redick is a very good coach. He's great. That dude's been fantastic. Again, it's just you need your guys back and healthy. It's nice to go, hey, I'd love to have Luka, LeBron, Smart, Vando, Ayton, all those guys. But you got to have them healthy. This game was doomed from the tip-off. Just couldn't do. Again, it sucks. You hate it. You hate to see it. It's frustrating. These kind of games happen. Trade the garbage, as in any player, not Luka, Reeves, Smart, Ayton. That's enough for another star and decent wing depth. I mean, again, like it becomes what's available. Two, Lakers are limited on assets, but I do think that the expiring contracts will be valuable. It's just, finding those right moves, finding those right trades. But it probably won't happen until December at the earliest. I'm hella mad. Not sure who Atlanta players are, but hey, a win is a win, I guess. Hey, look, they handled business. They showed up. They played. I mean, they still had. I mean, they had several guys. They were missing a lot of guys. Don't get me wrong, but they still had several like kind of key rotation guys. Riza Shea, Kongu, Dyson Daniels, right? Like guys that have been big for that team. And will continue to be big all season. So, it wasn't like it was entirely their G League team, but, they were sitting half their guys. So this was a great win for them. Anybody that's not white, only exception, Ayton and Smart. What about LeBron? I don't know what the hell happened today. They barely had anyone playing today. Again, it's one of those games you just take the L, right? They happen. You had a team playing with house money that just ran the Lakers out the gym. Lakers, I did it I talked about this in my breakdown video. I was like, Atlanta can win this game if. And they did exactly what I said, right? Like get in transition, push the pace, right? Lakers have struggled for years in transition and against young athletic teams. They do every year, like for whatever reason, like they just, they're like losing games to Utah and Chicago and all that, like, because they don't have the youth and athleticism themselves to match up, right? So it's just been an issue. It's why Minnesota was such an issue in the playoffs, right? Lakers lose to a G League team today. Hey, it happens. Like I said, Lakers need Bron. Yeah, need Bron, Reeves, all of them. Starting Reeves and Rui, I will get us out in the first round again. No defense in that starting lineup. Reeves is playing too good. You got to start him. Look, and Austin Reeves has actually played good defensively. Look, I am one of the first people that is more than happy to criticize Austin Reeves when he's playing poorly. I have in many ways been labeled an Austin Reeves hater. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I just point the issues out when they've happened. But when he's playing the right way, I mean, the guy's playing ridiculous. Is he, can we expect him on any defensive, first teams or anything like that? Probably not. But I think he's been good enough offensively in doing the little things and good enough defensively to justify and warrant it. Got to go, dude. Never been. Yeah, he's $11 million expiring contract. You got to move off him. Cypher coming out with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Seriously, I appreciate that. If we were to trade Rui, what realistic trade would you see happening? It has to be for a two-way wing, right? Whether it's Andrew Wiggins or, and I know people are like, Andrew Wiggins isn't this, that. But you got to keep in mind, we wouldn't be looking for Wiggins. Like, context is important, right? Andrew Wiggins is like your second guy outside of like that one random OKC run. You're probably going to be very disappointed, right? Andrew Wiggins is like your fourth or fifth guy. You're probably one of the best teams in basketball, right? Because he gives you that defense, that athleticism, that versatility. Oh, and he's also a guy that on any given night can be your second best player that night, right? Because he's scored and hitting shots and doing all this stuff and can self-create, unlike Rui. I think you either need to go that route or you need to kind of do some type of, like multi-trade. So like either go get a high-end guy like an Andrew Wiggins, or can you turn Rui into like a Matisse Thybulle and a Robert Williams and then go trade for separately a Haywood Highsmith, right? Something like that, to where you got two kind of versatile 3-and-D guard wings, basically guys that can defend 1 through 3 for you out on the perimeter. And then you solved like a backup center, right? Like if you could do something like that, or if you could turn like Rui into like a Dylan Brooks, right? Somebody like that. You need to find a team, which as we get closer to trade deadline, I believe one of those options will open up. But you need to find a team that just kind of wants to either A, values Rui and is like, hey, this is a guy that is exactly what we need. B, is a team that's just like, hey, we really want to like kind of reset, right? A team like Dallas, team like, Phoenix, like teams that want to be good, but they're not, that are like, hey, we need to kind of get off of some salary here. Those are the teams that if I'm Rob, I'd be calling, trying to work something out, right? Like, hey, it'd be great. Rui, help you get through the season. And then if you like him, you can keep him and re-sign him. If not, you let him walk and you can retool and do your thing, right? This is what we need. So guys like that would be kind of just any type of two-way, right? Like I've talked about it. The Lakers just like God athleticism, right? Like Jared Vanderbilt, say what you want. Offensively, he struggles. Can't really shoot the ball very well, but he impacts the game in so many ways for the Lakers, right? And it's just because he's athletic. I mean, Jared Vanderbilt had 18 rebounds, 18, including 4 offensive. Like he had a 12 point, 18 rebound, 2 assists, a steal, and a block game. Like the guy, say what you want about him, but he does so much for this team. It's just solely the athleticism, right? Like they need to just like Adou Thiero could help a ton for this team, right? Just by him just being out there and being athletic. Lakers just need athleticism badly. But anyway, I appreciate you, Cypher, again. Really appreciate that. Where was I? Lost my spot in the chat. Give me 1 second. Shoot. Where was I? Oh, here we go. Perfect. Okay, see, sorry. Yeah, no, I figured it out. It took me a second, but I got it. I've been doing this long enough. I could usually figure out what people are saying. Imagine if we had Herb Jones. Herb Jones, another guy, would be great. I mean, if Pelicans continue to fumble, right? See if you can get somebody from New Orleans. I was hype about Rui when he was going off against Memphis in 2023, and he actually did get a little better, but we got to trade him for Triple J if we can, or a similar player like Wiggins. Look, again, Rui, if we had if we can get Andrew Wiggins and still keep Rui, I'm not against keeping Rui, right? Like if there's a path to get what we need and solve what we need while still keeping Rui and having him come off the bench, do it, make it happen. I just think realistically speaking, Rui's probably going to have to go, right? But again, if you can go and get an Andrew Wiggins and keep Rui Hachimura and make that happen, and Rui's comfortable and fine coming off the bench and giving you 15 a night off the bench, then perfect, right? I'm not saying trade Rui just to trade Rui. But I just think realistically speaking, he's probably your best option. Let's see. Bro, I made the Austin Lynn thing up. WTF. Hey, I mean, maybe you did. I know Kenny Smith said something. I know he was comparing the Jeremy Lin run with Austin Reeves and like Shaq, and then we're like, come on, man. Like, that was a clip going around. He didn't call him Austin Lynn, so I just figured people were throwing that out there. But Shep, if you came up with the Austin Lynn thing, beautiful. I love it. And I appreciate you as always being here. I got to in the chat here. All right, let's do these last questions and we'll get on out of here. Lakers need to lose a game. They were winning too much, too hype, not look human and beatable. Like when you make a legend bleed, it's like you see they are human and it'll make us stronger. Yeah, I mean, look, you need those humble experiences, right? Sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth to go, all right, oh, we're in a fight, right? Like, sometimes you gotta need that jolt. You need that smack to let you know, like, hey, you're back. You got to trade Rui if we keep Wiggins, because Rui only wants more, right? Like 18 to 20 million each year. I mean, again, it depends on what you can get back for Rui. We don't know exactly what Rui wants contract wise. If Rui's willing to keep, basically, if he's willing to make what he's making right now, that'd be fine, right? Like, again, it just depends on a couple things. Also, depends on what Lakers, how things shape up and what you need in the offseason, because it might be worth letting him walk to free up that cap space, right? So you got a couple options, and you could probably sign and trade Rui if you really needed to. Austin Reeves and Alex Lynn together make Alex Lynn. Yeah, you're not wrong at all. But anyway, like I said, tough loss. You take your L. It sucks. We all hate it. But I don't think it's Chicken Little sky is falling again. I think you just kind of, you bounce back next game. Right now, look, if the Lakers show up like this against Charlotte, then we'll probably have a different conversation. What is that? Monday, I think, is the next game. So stay tuned for that. We'll see how that goes. But got to the end of the chat, so I'm going to get on out of here. I appreciate all of you hanging out with me. Seriously, you guys are beautiful. Everyone that gave me super chats seriously helps me out a ton. You have no idea. And everybody that was here just hanging out. Again, I really do appreciate it. You guys are beautiful. Make sure to like that video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And I will see you guys all on Monday, where we hopefully bounce back against Charlotte Hornets.